Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
She accidentally called me during a conversation with her former partner. I overheard her saying, "I long for you. He's simply occupying my spot until you return." Half an hour afterward, she messaged, "Want to grab a meal this evening?" I responded, "Already dined with a person who truly desires me in her life. She's been knocking furiously on my door since around midnight." Hey audience, massive appreciation to all who've subscribed already. We're inching closer to 10,000. If you haven't, smash that subscribe now and push us over the goal. I'm 32 years old, male, and employed as a physical therapist. Have been seeing Claire, 28 female, for roughly 8 months. We've been committed exclusively since the 3rd month, passing most weekends in each other's company. And I believed matters were progressing toward something deeper. Claire had always guarded her phone closely, but I assumed that was standard. People have their personal limits. She brought up her ex Derek occasionally in the beginning, mentioned he relocated to Denver for a job about a year prior. Always spoke of him as if it was fully finished. Even claimed she felt unburdened when he departed because their bond was harmful. Yesterday, I'm at my place folding clothes when my phone buzzes around 3 in the afternoon. Claire's name appears, but upon picking up, I only catch faint ambient sounds. Ready to disconnect when I notice she's speaking to another and unaware of the dial. I'm tuned in to what seems like a serene park or open space when Claire's tone comes through distinctly. "Derek, wow. It's wonderful to lay eyes on you. I've yearned for you immensely." My heart sinks. Derek's meant to be in Denver. A man's voice answers, "I've yearned for you too, darling. You appear stunning. I can't fathom you're really here. How extended is your visit?" "Only the weekend. Flew in for business and decided to catch you off guard. This is the greatest surprise possible. I've been pondering you nonstop. What about your current guy? Jake, right?" Hearing my own name makes it hit harder than anything. "What about him?" "Derek, you know you're the sole one I've truly loved. Jake's merely, he's holding my place until you decided you wished to return. Surely you don't intend that." "I completely intend that. Derek, I've been holding out for you to see we fit perfectly. Jake's a decent man, but he's no match for you. He's simply present so I'm not solitary while you sort yourself out. Is he aware of that?" Claire chuckles. "Naturally not. He believes we're crafting this wonderful connection. It's rather endearing how deeply he feels. And that doesn't bother you?" "Somewhat, but Derek, we've shared history since university. Jake's been in the picture 8 months. No contest. So what's next? Now you declare you want to give it another shot and I see squandering time acting like Jake is significant. I do want another chance. That's the reason for my trip." "Then it's decided. I'll handle Jake tomorrow and we can begin anew. How will you manage that?" "I'm unsure yet. Perhaps I'll vanish for a couple days and he'll catch on or invent a reason about requiring distance." The offhand harshness in her words is staggering. 8 months of my existence assuming we were creating something authentic and she's scheming to fade out on me for her ex who jetted in for the weekend. The call cuts off and I'm frozen in my living area clutching my device attempting to absorb it all. She's been treating me as a stand-in the whole period awaiting Derek's return. Half an hour later my phone vibrates with a message from Claire. "Hi love. Meal this evening? Craving that Thai spot from last week." The nerve is astounding. She just wrapped up assuring Derek she's ending it with me tomorrow and now seeks a meal as if all's normal. I glare at the text for a solid minute then input, "Already dined with a person who truly desires me in her life." Hit send and block her contact right away. Then I ring my buddy Jess. We've been tight pals for around 2 years. Always shared this subtle spark but never pursued it due to my involvement with Claire. Jess is employed at the medical center adjacent to our facility and we often share coffees. "Hi Ryan, how's it going?" "Jess. Got plans for a meal tonight?" And I mean a proper romantic outing, not casual friends. That's unusually direct what occurred with Claire. She pocket-dialed me while confessing to her ex I'm merely holding her spot until he returns. "Wow, yes, I'm available. Get me at 7. I passed the following hours hitting the gym, channeling the rage and hurt into exercise. By the time I clean up and prepare I'm sensing more composed than pained. The meal with Jess is fantastic. We head to the upscale steak spot downtown and really discuss meaningful topics. Our jobs, her aspirations to pursue further education, my vision of launching my own clinic someday. She pays attention when I speak and probes deeper. We share laughs over shared references and she recounts tales I've never caught before. "This is truly enjoyable," she remarks during dessert. We ought to have tried this sooner. I was involved with another. I realize, how was that? The pocket dial incident? Awful right then, but truthfully it rescued me from investing more effort in someone who never viewed me as long-term. That's a solid perspective. Her mistake. Absolutely her mistake. We returned to my apartment around 10 at night. Jess had visited prior for group gatherings, but this vibe is entirely altered. We're viewing some film when she shifts nearer on the sofa. I've desired this for months. She mentions and leans in for a kiss. Why hold back? Because you were committed and I honor that, but you're free now. She remains overnight, not solely for intimacy but since we're truly connecting on levels. We converse until nearly 1 a.m. covering all from careers to early life anecdotes. When she dozes beside me, it seems more organic than any moment with Claire ever felt. Around midnight my buzzer activates. Then escalating thumps on the door. I peek through the viewer and spot Claire outside appearing anxious. She's likely attempted calls and discovered the block. The thumping intensifies and grows frantic. Jess stirs. What's that racket? My former apparently learned I'm not pining for her to end things. Shall we respond? No way. The thumping persists for about 15 minutes, then ceases. I glance through the viewer and watch Claire heading to her vehicle, glancing at her device. This morning there's a penned letter slipped into my doorknob. Ryan, I realize you're angry, but this is extreme. We must discuss what you believe you overheard. You're discarding all we created over a mix-up. Contact me. I discard the letter in the bin and brew coffee for Jess, who's preparing for her work shift. You all right? She inquires. Better than in recent months, truthfully. Great_lazy, because I'd love to repeat this. The meal or the overnight? Both. Absolutely both. Claire's vehicle was absent when I departed for my job, but instinct says this isn't finished. She likely anticipated I'd be shattered and pleading for clarifications, not advancing swiftly with someone superior. Tough luck. Stand-in partners have shelf lives and mine just expired. Update 1. 72 hours on. The past 3 days have been revealing. Appreciation for all the feedback and encouragement. Pleased to note most agree that unintentionally admitting to exploiting someone warrants swift repercussions. So Claire's response to being severed has been foreseeably theatrical. She dedicated Monday to contacting me via every avenue imaginable. Initially, she appeared at my facility during midday break. She informed the front desk she required urgent discussion regarding a relative issue. The front desk phoned my room. Ryan, visitor here for you? Claims family emergency. I head to the lobby and see Claire there, appearing sleep-deprived. Ryan, finally, we must converse now. No, we mustn't. You have to go. This is absurd. You're behaving immaturely over a call you misheard. Misheard? You informed Derek I was holding your spot and you intended to vanish on me. You lack the full picture. Several clients in the lobby are now gazing. Claire, this is my job site. You can't create disturbances. Then step out and speak maturely. Nothing to discuss. You chose when you arranged to see Derek. It wasn't that way. Precisely was. You said you'd awaited his return and I was filler to avoid solitude. She scans and sees the onlookers. All right, but we're not done talking. I return to my room and she departs eventually. My boss stops by afterward. All good? That looked intense. Former partner issues. Managed. All right, just ensure private matters don't affect client sessions. Monday night, Claire attempted another tactic. She dispatched her pal Amy to my building. Amy buzzes around 8 p.m. Ryan, Amy here, Claire's friend. May I enter? Just chat. No thank you, Amy. Quick 5 minutes. Claire is crushed and I believe a major error occurred. No error. Claire can describe the scenario to Derek. Derek? What's his role? Inquire with Claire. I disconnect the buzzer and Amy leaves soon. Tuesday introduced yet another effort. Claire's sibling Megan phoned me. They've always been tight and Claire figured kin would sway more. Ryan, Claire shared you split over some communication glitch. She's deeply distressed. It wasn't a glitch, Megan. I overheard her tell her ex I was short-term. I don't get it. Which ex? Derek. He visited from Denver and she said she'd awaited his comeback. Extended silence. Derek visited town? She omitted that to all. Now you see why. Ryan, certain of the words? Certain. She labeled me a temp holding her spot. Another silence. Oh wow, I was unaware she maintained contact with him. Me neither until she dialed me accidentally amid their meetup. The call wrapped awkwardly. Megan appeared truly stunned, indicating Claire's been weaving alternate tales to her kin. Yesterday delivered Claire's ultimate frantic ploy. She discovered somehow our breakfast location with Jess and arrived. We're seated by the glass at this cozy diner when Claire's auto arrives. That's her. I informed Jess. Your ex? Attractive. And evidently tracking us. Want to exit? No. Curious what sort treats another as disposable for 8 months. Claire enters, sees us instantly and approaches our spot. She appears tear-streaked for days. Ryan, we must speak. Immediately. We truly don't. Who's this? She queries, eyeing Jess. A person who really wants me, Jess replies steadily. Claire flushes. Seriously? Already with another? I'm with a person, full stop. You were with Derek. I wasn't. We only chatted. You professed love and awaiting him. I was mixed up. He caught me off guard and I uttered regrets. Jess observes like analyzing behavior. Claire, even assuming truth, you also deemed me short-term and schemed to vanish. That's not mix-up, that's strategy. I'd never vanish on you. You directly debated optimal dump methods. Derek queried, handling it. I wasn't rational. You were fully rational. You mapped life with him while retaining me as reserve. Fellow diners note the tension. Claire sees the spectacle. Okay, she states, tone rising. Discard 8 months for some fling who barely knows you. But don't assume I'll linger as you see the error. I won't see error, I reply. She exits angrily, enters her auto and accelerates away. Wow, that unfolded, Jess notes. She assumed you'd reclaim her. She figured I'd be broken and thankful for scraps of excuse. Frightening how she believed no wrongdoing. Certain folks rationalize endlessly. We haven't received word from Claire since yesterday. No calls, messages, or ambushes. Either reality sank in or she's with Derek plotting ahead. Jess and I proceed gradually, but it's thriving. She's seeing my folks this weekend. I'll see hers next month. Standard couple advances with one who views me as enduring. The accidental dial was ideal timing. Sans it, I could have lost more months as Claire's reserve scheme thinking I was prime. Final update, fortnight later. Time to seal this phase. It's been a fortnight since Claire's unintended revelation and fallout has unfolded as anticipated from one exposed exploiting others. Post-diner clash, Claire silenced for roughly a week. No ambushes, no pal mediations, no frantic justifications equals $%. I assumed acceptance or Derek preoccupation. Turns out neither. Last Friday, Jess noted odd social media note from alleged acquaintance of mine. From bogus profile but clearly Claire. Your fresh partner isn't as advertised. He struggles with commitment and ended us over trivial. He's exploiting you to spark my envy. Query his temper issues. Jess shares. I have no temper? What reply? None. Block it. But it persisted. Attempting to shield you from pain like mine. He flees when bonds deepen. Query why he felt insecure over my chat with a pal. That overstepped. Jess responds. In fact, I know of the accidental call. You told Derek Ryan was holding your spot till return. Labeled him temp and plotted exit. Cease contacting. She blocks instantly. Apologies, she says. Should have disregarded. Fine. At least she knows you grasped the real dialogue. Think solitude now? Likely. Can't sway one with truth. No further from Claire since. No phony profiles or cryptic notes. Yesterday encountered her sibling Megan at the market. We'd bonded during Claire era. Ryan, hi. How are you? Well, Megan. You? Managing. Wanted to sorry for prior call. Post our talk, I challenged Claire on Derek. And? She confessed his visit and meet. Claimed mere closure. Nothing occurred. Believe her? Megan nods no. Her demeanor, defensiveness. Doubt full honesty on events. Likely not. Sorry, Ryan. You treated her well and our kin kindly. She truly erred. Thanks. Happy with new lady? Claire noted you're dating. Extremely. Jess is wonderful. Great. You merit one who values you. That exchange provided unexpected closure. Family validation I wasn't at fault sealed it. Jess and I flourish. She met parents last weekend and they adored her pronto. Mom whispered privately Jess feels far more authentic than Claire. Dad noted she's the initial partner I've introduced truly engaged in family beyond courtesy. Planning visit to Jess's kin next month. Typical milestones with one seeing them as progress, not hurdles around X. The payback wasn't schemed or grand. It was departing from one undervaluing me and letting her face her words' results. Claire assumed retain me as reserve awaiting Derek's dedication. Instead, her unintended truth liberated me to discover far superior. She sought both worlds. Lost both, left with phony profiles to cower. The accidental dial was Cosmos delivering precise intel to halt squandering on one, never seeing me enduring. Now with one selecting me deliberately, not convenience. That's wanted versus tolerated. Claire imparted that perfectly, unintended manner.